So as we've gotten more trailers and the episodes have released, a lot of people are already hating on the new Avatar show, mainly because we know what happened the last time they released the live action Avatar. I'm not going to say too much about the movie that we do not speak of, but I'm going to let the clips speak for themselves. Now, I'm not going to be hating on the specifics of the show, but the direction that Avatar is going in. I think what's so frustrating about this is when series with a lot of potential, like Avatar, has this so much content, so many plot holes that they could fill and cover, but instead we're getting the same remake that we've already got for a third time. This live action is covering book one, but we've already gotten book one twice. The first book one happened in Avatar The Last Airbender, the show. The second book one happened in Avatar The Last Airbender, the movie. And now we're getting a third Avatar The Last Airbender, the live action show, which also covers book one. Now, granted, all of these book ones do a couple things differently, but in the end, it's still book one, and it's still focusing on the same characters and the same story. There's too much potential content for them to be recovering the same story for the third time. In fact, I can name 10 better shows and movies during different timelines in the Avatar verse that most people and most fans would agree would much rather see over the Avatar the live action show. The first two shows would be about Avatar Salai and Avatar Zizito. We don't know too much about Avatar Salai except that he was a old earthbending avatar. We know a little bit about Zizito. He could lava bend, but he was mostly a politician who helped grow the Fire Nation. Now, shows 3, 4, 5, and 6 would be about Avatar Yang Chen, Avatar Kirik, Avatar Kyoshi, and Avatar Roku. Granted, we have seen them in the show. We've have seen the flashbacks, and some of them got comics. Doesn't matter. We need to see more of these characters. We need more in-depth coverage of these characters. So already, we have 6 shows. A show about Avatar Salai, a show about Avatar Zizito, a show about Avatar Yang Chen, a show about Avatar Kirik, a show about Avatar Kyoshi, and a show about Avatar Roku. Now you can even place a show about Avatar Wan, the first Avatar. I don't know how much people are going to enjoy that, but that could be show 7, but I'm not going to put it there as that. We'll just leave that one out as a honorable mention or extra, a show 11. Now 7 is a heavy list. This is like the full span of the 100-Year War, but before Aang wakes. So it's at different times in the 100-Year War. It would include Sozin's death, Azulon's ascension to the Fire Nation's throne. It would include Ozai and Iroh in their childhood. It would include Bumi's ascension to Omashu's throne, and some backstory on other characters during that time, like Kuzan and Guru Patik. Now that's show 7. Show 8 would be covering the time after the 100 Years War. Basically what some of the comics showed. Toph opening up her metal bending academy, Aang going around doing Avatar stuff, Azula and Zuko's search for their mother. Yeah, we got some comics, cool. Doesn't matter. Animate it. That's show 8. Now, show 9 takes place as adult gang and their kids, and some background information on characters that weren't really fleshed out in Legend of Korra, like Mei, Suki, and Sokka. That's show 9. 10, which might be one of my favorites, is the span around Aang's death, with the focus mainly being on the young Red Lotus members, including Unalaq. This would also show how he was able to get into the Red Lotus, how the Red Lotus was created. This would show the fight between the Red Lotus and Sokka, Tonraq, Tenzin, and Lord Zuko. This would show the background and the history of Red Lotus, which we got a little bit of in Legend of Korra, but it would be a little bit more in depth. We'd also get to see the younger versions of the main characters of the Red Lotus and their story. So those are the 10 shows that I came up with quite easily. That would be much better than anything that the Avatar live action is going to produce, and also much better received from the fans. And I think most people can agree that all of these shows would be better, especially towards the 7, 8, and 9 and 10 part, which covers essentially from the beginning of the 100-Year War all the way down to the creation and the history of the Red Lotus. If there's any other timelines or topics in the Avatar verse that you would love to see covered in a show or a movie, I want you to comment them down below.